everybody, how's life? And I'm RuboGubo, joined with Charlie03. I know
Hi.
he's John Warren, but we'll change that later. Anyway, what will we be doing today, you may ask? Mr. Charlie will be able to explain.
Making a sort of like mechanical kind of engineer vehicle that if like survival comes out or anything that we can like give fuel to other vehicles or like
Power other creations,
them,
like
power them, yeah.
it could be also like a generator of sorts. So, in order for this to work, we are going to be adding, obviously we will have large fuel tanks. We will have all of the crates, all of the ones that are currently in the game, excluding the open plant container because it's open.
Yeah, we don't want open.
We will also be using all the pipes and including valves to simulate us maybe wanting switching parts off. We will also be using the tanks, and which one we will be using will depend on what we're doing. And just to add some atmospherics, we'll probably be adding a satellite dish. And we're doing this, yes, because we're going to be continuing the sort of Mad Max theme that we've been going for.
Yeah.
So,
right,
shall we get started?
Yeah, let's get started. Right, so.
Okay, so first block I think we should be using is metal. And I'm thinking 5x5 corridor, right? Through the middle. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go for 6. That's a nice center block.
Yeah, that's nice.
Double block centering. There. Okay, and I'm thinking we could probably actually I'll just quickly mark it up in green. There you go. But oh, that's a very vibrant green. But and then we can probably have like 10, like 15 or 10 by 10. I'm thinking 10. 15's a bit too much.
Yeah. That seems good. So that's cool. And then we have like. So this is production first. Let's start. Okay.
Hold on. Okay, yeah, hold on. Let me just quickly make sure that there's 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we just take this off. Okay, so yeah, and then we can have these side bits be rooms. And then these side bits can be rooms split up.
Yeah.
So one of them will be the engine room, one of them will be something else. Yeah, you can do that. So if you want to start getting... Do you want to start working on the walls?
Yeah, I'll start working on the walls then.
Now I do want to quickly mention to our viewers that we have built a prototype of this, so we know roughly what we're doing.
Yeah.
One layer too high.
Oh, I don't know, one too high.
Yeah, don't worry, I fixed it.
Okay.
Careful, it's gonna drop.
Are we literally gonna have it just so it's average like
Yeah, I feel like that should be how the engineering bay works, you know.
okay.
Precisely precision engineering.
I'm thinking, are we gonna have the 2 drivers' cockpits on the 2nd floor through a big glass window?
Well, I thought we were gonna have, well, we could do that, but I was thinking maybe we have the turret on the top and then the cab down low. Although we will have...
Oh yeah. No, I was thinking on the 2nd floor and then we've got like the roof. I was thinking if we're gonna have a 2nd floor, we're not gonna have a 2nd floor on this one.
Oh, I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll probably will have a 2nd floor. I don't know,
Yeah,
just
right.
do what you think will look good. I'll start to work on the cab. Actually, no, you just said you were going to do that.
No, I said I was gonna do the walls.
Okay.
You do cab.
I'll start working on that then. So yes, by the way, if you're wondering who the hell this is Charlie03, and he's a new member of RuboGubo. He used to be the he was the editor for the last video, and well, he's now, and I've decided that well, if he's seeing as he's done us such great service, he might as well join the channel for good.
Yeah.
And that's why he's here now. If you have an idea of anybody else you want us to talk to, feel free to leave anything in the comments suggesting stuff. You know, hopefully we're very open-minded people who are prepared to accept things that you wouldn't accept. So give people who you wouldn't think you would normally, because it makes life more interesting.
Let's break this.
So as you can see the snazzy text that's coming up. Now anyway, here I'm just building the cab, and Charlie doesn't seem to be doing much at all. Charlie 03, that is. Now, here I'm just putting in the windows, making sure it's the right height, and I put down 2 chairs with the idea being that I could share with Charlie and me. Later on I removed them because I discovered something, which is the curves aren't actually going to be able to fit the 2 chairs. So in order to fix that, I have to have only 1 chair, which is fine, there'll just be 1 person driving. Anyway, this part here is just where I make sure that you can actually see out of the windows in first person, because that's something that I quite like to put in my buildings, that you can drive them well in first person. So here I'm just adding the roof to the cab, and I decided that I wanted the roof to the cab to be very low, so that when you got out, you would, instead of being on the lower floor, be on the top floor, where the turret will be in the future. If you didn't already know that, sorry for spoiling it. So yes, here you can see I'm just making sure that the lower roof fits nicely with the top. Now the reason I'm leaving a gap is because we're later going to do something I call a chair jump, which is basically essentially just you use a chair to go there and then jump out, and then you teleport where the chair is, and then you can jump out where the chair is, essentially letting you teleport through walls. That was a very bad explanation, sorry guys. So here I'm just making sure, finishing the lower wall, because I thought that we might actually have another section, mainly the technical part that Charlie there is working on, also have a low roof, and only have the middle part have a nice and big roof, just to add some atmosphere. Also because we're going to have the turret on the front, and having a bit of the room to sink it down a bit helps a lot. So yes, here I am just quickly adding the borders. And those engines there are temporary, they're just set to step up, do not worry. So the roof, it was easy, really. I mean, I could have done more with it, but I even considered doing skylight, but I ended up going against it because this is Mad Max, and having a skylight is a rather bad idea. Also because we're going to be putting something on top. Now here I'm just quickly discussing with Charlie the idea that it would be more tightly compacted. So I'm just quickly putting in the roof, but then I'm also pointing out that it's not proper, because he left gaps that didn't need to be done, and Charlie does fix this. So, well done Charlie. So, there I'm just quickly explaining, and I'm also putting in the doors. And they're deliberately supposed to be very, very, very tight, just so that we have as much room as possible to put inside the pool, because I plan for us to have a lot. Now here, I'm just telling Charlie to make this thing more dense, and then I put in a quick door. Now, I wanted these doors to be small, just so that it was easier to go in. I also put this warning tape in, which I thought. Okay, so now we move to Charlie doing it again, and getting it wrong again. Because once again, he didn't do it correctly. So I did end up doing it again later. So this is just him trying to pack them in as tightly as he could. And now we're on to me and my tanks. So we decided that we kind of wanted this to work in survival, at least how we theorized it might work. So we used tanks and pipes, and we even put in a valve. We even put in a valve, so that we could try to fit in as much quote-unquote gas as possible, because this was supposed to be a mobile base. And I believe Charlie did even put in just a few electrical cables, which is nice, but they're just really a bit too big to use to the extent that we could have wanted to. Okay, so here I'm just doing some piping. Now, the reason we're doing piping is so that, like I hopefully already said before, I haven't, I'm sorry, so that we can at least make it slightly adoptable to be done in survival, which, you know, is debatable if we'll actually ever, like, get survival, because if we've been keeping toughest camp, it's been a very long time. Anyway, here I'm just putting in the pipes for the hopefully soon updated survival. Discussing about it and discussing with Charlie where we are going to have the petrol or whatever gas imports. So temporarily we just decided to do something like that, and I had the idea of putting barrels on the outside. So we did sadly have to remove this a bit later, but for the meantime we had to well, we didn't have to, but for the meantime we implemented the pipes on the outside because I think these look pretty cool. So just quickly hooking that one back up. And I also decided that we should have two just to make it slightly more balanced, although I am aware that it looked very bad. For some reason I decided to remove all of that instead of just welding it on, which caused Charlie and myself a lot of pain that could have been easily avoided. Now, I was experimenting with using long pipes, but I ended up using two short ones because that one was just a little bit too long. By the way, if you're asking why I keep putting holes in the floor, it's just so that I can access areas, because otherwise I would not be able to see it. So I then covered it up and we connected it. Now we did cover this up just because, although it looked cool, we kind of went, you know, thought it was going to be better. Now this is where I was just putting in the fuel department thing, and Charlie did change it eventually, so no, don't get too attached to this design. So yes, I just quickly put it in and made like a little outside box. I then pointed out to Charlie that this was inefficient. So yeah, that took some time to fix, but I left Charlie to it after I showed him how to do it properly. Now this was when I realised, hold on, because I realised, hold on, the pattern's got away. But then I realised, hold on, this middle chair is already perfectly centred. I'm just going outside here because now I will be working on the camp. Now here I'm just going in here, and this is when I make the engines look nice because, you know, Charlie messed them up. So this is just because I really hated the design. It was too inefficient. So I decided to implement so that you could access engines even around the corner, because electric engines are 3 wide. And by the way, yes, I did spend time making sure that the engines were rotated the correct way. I'm sorry. Now, at first, I thought, okay, I could just fill this in. But then I decided that I might as well just sink them in to the back as well, which I did. And then I just hopped onto the top and finished filling this in back properly, and made it a nice slope. Now here I'm just quickly worked on the door before popping back up and finishing the top of the roof. Okay, so here we just time warp into the future, where I start work on the wheels. Now this is where great trauma will trouble, and I will come to you when you get to that. But for now, I'll talk about the design. I like pipes, they look a lot nicer. Then we came to exquisite trauma. So here I was just quickly checking that everything was symmetrical, and I quickly stuck that on, put the wheel on, and trauma hits. Now the first piece of trauma was not depressing, we just had to get rid of that. So we just hid it behind a little piece of sheet, and I told Charlie to relocate it, which I believe we're going to be doing in the next episode. Don't question what that was about, by the way. I don't know why he was stuck in there. Now anyway, here we realise great trauma. Now at first I tried to circumvent the trauma, because if you hadn't guessed what the trauma was, it was that the tanks were in the way. So I was forced, with a heavy heart, to remove the tanks. The things that had caused me not much pain, but a little bit of pain, had to be destroyed in favour of a wheel system that was not off-centre. So we then had some tests, and here I am just making sure that the suspension is of a decent quality. I ended up choosing 12, and then I just quickly introduced that to all the other sides, just because I like that. And I generally speaking like to build with metal because, as you can see there, it's nice and heavy, so you don't have to you can put the spring up quite high, which I normally do by accident, and still get a very nice result. In fact, really good. Here I was just adding something that I thought was a relatively good saviour of all that connection work, which was a pipe. So this is just, I was quickly snapping a controller in, and if you were wondering why I didn't put a switch in, it's because if you select their standing or like default position, then you don't need a switch to activate that default position. So here I'm just colorizing the chimney to make sure it looks nice, and Charlie there is working on the gap thing that I just had told him to destroy. I also painted all the spring parts grey just to make it look nice. And I also saw that Charlie made it yellow, so instead I used like the emergency strip block, I suppose. So, the floor's still green, I'm sorry. Not much you can do. Now here I'm just quickly hooking up all the engines to give it the test drive, and which would end up concluding this video. So as you can see, just testing. I kind of ended up doing all the adjustments, even though Charlie could have done that. So here we just quickly testing it with Charlie helping me know if it was good. And then we just adjusted the engine so that it could actually go to high speed. Max speed, a little bit too much. You drift just a little bit too much. And lower speed, you don't move at all. Now this is where Mr. Charlie started causing problems because he wanted to get on, but and he stopped me from driving away by putting a lift in. It was annoying. And just saw me there change it to one below the top, which I found was the sweet spot. And the suspension, as you can see, also worked really well, and it was a lot of fun to drive. Now anyway, thanks for watching, and now you get to watch the glory of me running over Charlie, because who doesn't like death? Except that he crouched and went under. So that was the end of that. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.